spanning the globe. Through the power of the World Wide Web. It's Stacey and Steve's Cringe Fest. And now, here are your hosts, Stacey and Steve.
Here we go again, Cringers. I'm Stacey.
And that's Stacey. And
Yep.
Stacey is an apologist for Charlie Brown. He's
a cool kid.
She's a Charles Schultz apologist. I think if we dig into Charles Schultz, we're probably going to find he was a Nazi.
The way I see it, Charles Schultz is my epitome of I've done what I'm supposed to do in my life and I am dead. Because he died the day that his last cartoon aired.
Right, exactly.
Or ran, or whatever you call it.
Boy, what a work ethic. Honest, I said earlier, there's a couple books about him. One is there's a biography and an autobiography, and they're just great. And this guy worked. Man.
Charles Schultz and Jim Henson worked pretty much until they died.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you I was at Disney World when right after Disney bought
you told me that. Mm-hmm.
Jim Henson Productions, and it was only just a few months later, and he died. I was at Disney World when Jim Henson died, and then the little newspaper they sent out to all the hotel guests. The back page was just a picture of Mickey Mouse with a tear running down his eye or down his face.
You told me that one.
Oh my! That was so wretching. You know?
The thing that pisses me off about that is a lot of people are like, Brian Henson sold out. I was like, this was in the works.
Yeah,
it just so happened Brian Henson ended up with the corporation because Jim died.
Jim Henson sold the company way before. Brian was just a kid at that point, but
no, the all of the paperwork was in process. Jim died, and Brian had to sign it, and a lot of people were going after Brian, and it was disgusting because it was like it's what his dad wanted.
Yeah, and his dad was sick, but
they had planned for it just in case something happened.
Of all the stuff Disney has purchased and ruined, I think maybe they've done the best job with Jim Henson Productions.
Have you seen the Electric Mayhem show?
The what show? No,
Disney Plus came out with the Electric Mayhem. So the band, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Oh yeah, you told me about this. Yeah,
it's so fucking good.
No,
it is so fucking. It has my favorite Muppet. We've already discussed this, Janice.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I did see that. I did turn into Sesame Street. Just flipping through my streaming channels, and I flipped on PBS the other day, and Sesame Street was on, and
it's changed a lot.
The band Haim was on, on Sesame Street, and I love them. I think they're great. I knew the one sister.
Sesame Street's always had the pulse.
Oh yeah,
who's who and. Did you know James Randi was on the pilot episode?
I did know that. Actually, I did.
What letter was he?
Let's see. What would it be?
Giving you a hint.
James Randi. She's holding up four fingers.
Mm-hmm.
A, B, C, D.
Yep. He was the letter D.
D is for deceitful.
Yeah, I found that out today.
You've been duped.
Yeah, I found that out. He was on the pilot the very first pilot episode.
Yeah, my niece Lauren very well, and so she was born in 70 something when I was in junior high.
We're practically the same age.
Yeah. I was in junior high school. I was like 12, 13 when she was born. And she's like of that first Sesame Street generation.
Junior as 13? You're usually a junior at 16 and 17.
No, sweetheart. Back in my day, we called it junior high school.
Oh, junior high school. I thought you said you were a junior in high school.
This
and I'm like,
concept
what the fuck?
middle school. What the fuck is middle school?
No, we had a junior high school.
Okay.
We called it junior high. It's just I thought you said junior in high school.
Okay, well, you misunderstood me, so let's not dwell on it.
So junior high school.
I was in junior high school when she was born, and she was among the first Sesame Street generation. So yes, so we spent a lot of time together on the floor watching Sesame Street together.
Well, my brother was born in 1972. And Mom would watch. She would try to have him watch it, but with his ADD, he couldn't. So I just
yeah.
So pretty much from the moment I could watch TV, I was watching it. So about 1981. Yeah,
just a decade or so in. His ADD, that really reminds me. I read this article right after Sesame Street came out about. At that time, they called them sensitive children because we didn't talk about, I mean, the whole thing about ADD, ADHD.
Being on the spectrum.
That wasn't like formalized then. Right. And they did like feature this one little kid that said, 7 is too loud. I don't like 7. It's too loud. All right. Hey, you want to talk about this movie?
I don't know. How you doing first? How you doing? You having a good day?
I had a great day. What did you have for dinner? Did you make dinner yet?
I had leftover HelloFresh.
Oh.
Okay. Let me a HelloFresh recipe because HelloFresh doesn't ship to Alaska.
Right. So you are pirating HelloFresh.
No, they give them out for free. You can go and download anyone you want.
And you are converting
bastardizing
and converting them into things
that I can get at the store.
Yeah, that you can get at your local.
I'm going to tell you though, they're really good.
From what you've told me, they sound both like really good and also really easy.
Well, it's ironic because we listen to podcasts that have HelloFresh as sponsors. So hey, HelloFresh. But they really are. I mean, the only thing that makes them take a little longer is you have to make your own little things that they would just give you in packets.
Yeah.
Like the cheese roux.
Right.
But you told me about the Reddit. Thanks for that.
Oh yeah, there's a subreddit that breaks down all of the HelloFresh Reddit HelloFresh Reddit, all the HelloFresh recipes. It says when they say 1 unit of magic cheese sauce, this is what it means. You know, a tablespoon of Cheese Whiz and.
What I do for my cheese roux is powdered. And I'm gonna get some powdered cheddar, but right now I only have powdered Parmesan. So boiling water. Powdered Parmesan, and of course, flour. And then I whisk it up like a roux.
That just sounds... Julia Child is rotating at 7,200 RPM in her grave right now. When she hears you say, you made a roux with water and powdered cheese.
Boiling water. It's very important because you got to break down.
Well, there we go.
Break down the starches and the fats.
That makes it all perfect. Yeah. No, but it's actually really good. I'm glad you've been able to kind of convert these recipes and make them easy. Because I mean, you work all day, you got no time when you get home. But
meal planning is so much easier and so much more affordable, even if you don't get the actual HelloFresh packets.
Yeah.
I spend $100 on my groceries for the week because I know exactly I need 20 ounces of this. I need 5 ounces of this. And a lot of times I have leftovers. So like I have extra heavy whipping cream. I have extra lemon. I have extra Parmesan. So if you want to zhuzh it up when you're reheating it, you can use extra stuff. Zhuzh. Yeah, zhuzh.
Show me your teeth when you say that. Zhuzh. I'm glad we have video so I can see.
The very expensive teeth that I have? Yes. Very expensive teeth. This is a $20,000 mouth.
I'm not going there. All right. So I had a lovely dinner tonight, or at least I planned on it. I have this nice pot roast that I bought a few days ago, and had like potatoes and carrots and onions and celery and all this stuff. Got the meat out, got the Dutch oven all heated up, ready to go. Gonna put that little Maillard on the.
Going to use the Dutch oven, but not when you're asleep, because that's just what husbands do.
I was going to, get it all crunchy on the outside, chopped it up into small bits.
One of my favorite parts about cooking is if Steve's around, I'm still talking like Julian Child.
Had a bottle of really cheap red wine to deglaze the pan with.
She's definitely somebody I also grew up on PBS.
My scratch-free utensils out, so I could, do all that scraping and all that stuff. So I get everything heated up, everything chopped up, all the meat part, and then I dropped my pencil, and then
I dropped a pencil.
I gotta have.
And then
I've got to have my pencil made.
Mm-hmm.
And then I dug out the potatoes and the onions and the carrots, the celery, and the onions had turned to
evil
mush. The potatoes.
Do you remember the Weird Al song "Living in the Fridge"?
Yeah, right. That's exactly.
I love that song.
That's my crisper drawer. It's where good intentions go to die.
I know. I'm have
buy
cleaned out part of your crisper drawer.
Yes, you've cleaned my crisper drawer.
I was left unattended.
Everything was just rotten tomatoes,
a fruit flies paradise.
Rotten potatoes, rotten onions, carrots that were like oak trees trunks. They were so completely dried out, hard and cracked. The celery held up pretty well. But so I decided I'd make a salad. Right? Okay. Stacye left me some really good Marie's blue cheese dressing, and I had this package, this unopened package of
that was 39 days ago.
What was 39 days ago?
When we went actually over 39 days ago when we went shopping at the grocery store and I got that. So unopened package of what, Steve, after over a month?
No. That I ate all that stuff. It was just the dressing. Just the blue cheese dressing.
Oh, the dressing will last forever.
Yeah, that'll last forever. But yeah, no. All the fresh stuff was done. But I bought a few packages of I hate to buy it, but I just for convenience, I bought the pre-washed.
Oh gosh, no, not this. Not this. Oh, you're gonna go here.
Lettuce. It's like romaine lettuce, and it's got a couple other things in it. I chopped up some tomatoes and onions put in it. And
now I wish I could meet you. Yeah. I really wish I could meet you right now. Cringers.
I poured it into a bowl. I thought I'll just have this nice salad for dinner. And I have some like grade school chicken nuggets that you can heat up in the
Cringers. If you were squeamish for any point, I would pause. Fast forward for about 2 minutes.
You should probably pause here and fast forward about 5 minutes. This is going to take me at least 5 minutes.
Okay, continue. Okay.
I got some grade school frozen Tyson chicken bits.
Were they dinosaur shaped at least?
They were not. They had no shape because I didn't get the battered one. You gotta get. If you want a good shape, they have to be battered. Which is also a rule I've learned about women. If you want to keep them in shape, they must be battered. Lightly coated.
So lucky you're on the other coast.
Just a light coating, a quick dip, and yeah. Okay. I heated up the little chickens in the microwave. I dumped all the half a package of this lettuce stuff in a bowl, and I put on the big couple spoonfuls of that wonderful blue cheese dressing you left. And about halfway through my salad, I looked down and there was one half of a bug. One half of a bug that was
the size of a Buick, right?
As big as a Buick. It was the size of a Buick, a 1974 estate wagon to be specific, in a gloss black color that also had a green gooey interior. Yeah. And I'm only guessing the other half of that Buick-sized bug ended up in my mouth. And all evening long, I keep thinking there are little bug feet still stuck to my tongue. And that's been pretty awful. It's been a pretty awful evening. So it kind of put me off food. So I'm doing okay on my diet tonight. Nothing like, if you really want to get a big jump on your diet, just start every meal by having a big have a big bite of a great big bug, then pull it out and look at it and go, wow, look at that shiny black shell and that neon green interior. And
oh my God.
And let's see, the piece that's left has got about 3 legs. There's got to be between 3 and 7 legs still in my body here, and then it's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not eating the rest of the day today. So yeah, so that was my dinner. It was good. No, actually, it wasn't. It was really, really bad. It was horrific. I probably won't sleep tonight. I'll have bad dinner. Some sort of random beetle that had been packaged in this bag. Okay, so all right.
No, we need to stop because this is no. What we need to do is we need to cleanse our palate with a bad movie.
No, okay, but before we do this, I just have to finish one thought, and you know better than to try to cut me off. Okay, a head of romaine lettuce was picked in someplace in the Imperial Valley in California, right? It was washed, it was processed, it was chopped. It was chopped into really small pieces. And then then they added a few things. Some slivers of carrots and things like that, just for color. And then they washed it again. They dried it, because that's the cool thing about getting salad that's prepackaged. It's already dried, so you don't have to spin it in the salad spinner. It's already ready to go. This is ready to go. It's washed. You just open the bag, you dump it in a bowl, and hello, family, have salad. It's good for you. The field may have been infested with these bugs. I don't know. But if it was, the first washing of the romaine lettuce should have...
Maybe it flew in during packaging. Crawled in.
I don't think
it smelled the wonderful romaine, and it went, I want some of that.
I don't think so, because I think it's packaged in a very sanitary facility, right? So they did all that. They chopped it all up, right? So in the process of chopping, you would think this bug, the size of a Buick, would have gotten chopped up into small bits when they chopped up all this lettuce. But no, it didn't. It remained intact. Large enough so that I could bite half of it off. Okay. And then they wash it again, right?
It was a very clean bug.
Third. Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. It's probably got, the berry or some sort of horrible flu was carrying.
We'll find out in about 2 days.
Yeah, give me about 2 days. This may be our last podcast. This may be the one that you title In
Memorial.
No, that's not.
Do you have the Google Drive updated with all the passwords and logins?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got all the passwords, so you're good. But you know what?
Checking.
You know what? One password you don't. You don't have the password PayPal.
Nope.
where all the money from our merch sales.
But I have the password to your house.
Well, yeah, you can get my house.
Actually, I think I had that before we even started podcasting. The moment you got the smart lock, you told me the code.
You've always had the password to my house, and by what's the word I'm looking for?
Proxy?
The transient property of passwords. You also have the passwords for my neighbors' houses. No.
I also have passwords to your Facebook, or approve. I can use your Facebook.
Yeah, no, you can. Okay. All this processing happened with this lettuce. All this processing. It was dried. It was run through these giant 300 horsepower fans that dried all this stuff. It went through packaging machines. It was sealed. They put a little Ziploc on the top. They put it in boxes. They put the boxes on pallets. In
refrigerators too. Don't forget that it's cold.
Exactly. So they filled boxes with these little bags of salad. They stacked the boxes on pallets. They shrink wrapped all that on pallets. They moved them into warehouses. They put them on trucks. They moved them all over the nation and Alaska. And somehow this bug, the size of a Buick 1974 Electra wagon, came through in my bowl of salad. I think it had to have been added later. I do not think that a bug that size could have survived that entire process. So I think it's espionage. I think they're trying to make us lose confidence in the food supply of America. And I don't know who they are, but they are injecting Buick-sized bugs into our very wholesome, corporately produced foods.
Let me move on now, please.
Okay. So that's what I had for dinner. I had a salad. I had a romaine salad with blue cheese dressing and half of a bug the size of a Buick Estate wagon Electra, 1970. Carry on, Stacye.
This movie didn't have any bugs.
There were bugs there, though, right?
Well, but they never brought up the fact that there were bugs. No, they brought up the fact that there were tribes.
There were tribes.
And
there was I believe anyway, there was multi-species incestuous act.
That's why she's the Untamed Mistress.
Yes, this was the...
I don't know what you were...
The Untamed Mistress.
It is
1956.
I don't think this is a good name for this movie.
So the first part of this movie that was so confusing was if you just read the generic plot outline, it says, deep in the Indian jungles, two gentlemen who are searching for a beautiful woman, Velda, and we'll talk about all the variances of Velda later, was kidnapped by a group of bloodthirsty gorillas. Eventually they find her, but the gorillas are determined to keep the woman within their tribe. That's the stock plot. We got hung up on that in the first 3 minutes of this movie because it was, this is the Maharaji. He's on a hunting expedition. His definitely a stereotypical Indian-looking trope, right?
The hunt? No, he wasn't a hunter. He was the guide. The guide.
Yeah.
For this hunting expedition with the Maharaja.
And they right from the beginning they say it's in India, and then the bearers show up, right? The bearers.
He's
right. Yeah. So the bearers are, carrying the supplies and stuff. They've got the
and him because they have the little
right. They got the poles spread across the backs of several people, and I can't remember what they call that, but yes, they're conveying the Maharashi. The bearers are all black, and they're all dressed in what I would think would be stereotypical, what in 1956 would be what Americans might think African natives looked like.
Yep, but in their pantaloons, their pants were very Indian.
That's true. But then the other people surrounding the Maharishi looked Persian.
Yeah.
And spoke Arabic, right?
I don't know what they were speaking. I think they were making up something that sounded.
Exactly. You've got the Jungle Book. You've got Alibaba. You've got
Aladdin.
I hate to even say this. I don't know, we're not supposed to say this, but Little Black Sambo. You've got
these. They had like
all of
5 different countries in one procession.
The first 15 minutes of the movie, we're saying, where is this happening? And then finally, the narrator says, "Here in the dark continent of Africa."
And we're both throwing our hands up like, the fuck?
Yeah, really? Okay, we're in Africa. Okay, great. And then they show like giraffes and elephants and hippopotamuses and stuff like that. The movie was obviously very cheaply made. It was half of it. It's only 100 and what was it? 72 minutes long, and it's a third of it, I would say, was like just
they reused it for the Black Panther the next year that came out.
Yeah, but no, it was just stock footage.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely very obvious.
Stock footage of somebody filming tribal dances, which really in
they
this
were cool.
movie, interesting, but it only served to show naked tribal women with naked breasts.
So I mean, Steve tried to. He does what he normally does and tries to do a nipple count and stopped.
I gave up. Yeah. No,
because it was just
it was a very nipply movie. But on top of that, there's this subplot with it's not the subplot, it's the main
it's the plot, but it's just so buried under.
There's this woman, Velda, was lost in the jungle as a child, raised by gorillas. And they're one of the many threads. There's lots of threads that go through this movie, but one of the many threads where they were going to rescue Velda from her.
Well, the younger brother fell in love with Velda.
Well, and who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
She's beautiful. She's such a
gorgeous
sweetheart.
I don't know where she buys those foundation garments that she wore in deepest, darkest Africa, but you can't buy them today. I'll tell you that.
And she was so clean. Everybody was so clean on their hunting and
oh my god,
foraging and
trekking through the jungle and white pants, and yeah, she's got cute dresses. Like
anyway,
okay, and let's see. Let's go ahead and spoil it. Okay. At the end, the ending was a little bit surprising.
Yeah.
The great white men go off to battle the gorillas that have enslaved lots of native,
quote unquote, enslaved.
Yeah. Lots of we talked about this when we watched the movie. Every hint they give you there is that these gorillas are having sex with these women.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Beyond a shadow of doubt. They give virgin sacrifices to the gorillas.
Right. The tribe.
So that they don't attack the tribe, and they've never found any bodies.
Right. And there's like all these bare-breasted women who are the concubines, I guess, of the tribe of gorillas. But I think we only really saw like 2 gorillas, right?
There's a couple of them, but you can tell
they
that
kind of
costumes
implied there were more, but there was like kind of a blonde one and kind of
when you're on a budget, you're on a budget.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. Untamed Mistress.
So
this was really a horrible movie. we did some research. Did you find anything really? I found one really interesting fact about this movie, and I'm going to hold it.
The thing that I thought was interesting is the Maharaja, Byron Keith, played the mayor in 10 episodes of Batman.
Oh, really? Oh, the mayor, the mayor, not Commissioner Gordon.
No, the mayor in 10 episodes.
Wow.
A lot. So what's interesting is this is all, of course, they're older, so they're in the middle to higher end of their careers. Every single one of these is a character actor. They've been in Perry Mason. They've been in Bonanza.
Yeah,
right. There's not one person who has less than a dozen shows. And I think it's maybe one.
But there are also no names there that you would recognize. It was Byron Keith, not Brian Keith. When I first saw that, I thought, it's Brian Keith. Yeah,
but it's
Byron, and yes, and yeah, and it wasn't Don Harvey, it was Don C. Harvey.
Right?
Yeah.
But he's also got a lot of
they were
episodes that just these. I can't tell you how many shows. So Alan Nixon, one of the directors, is also the lead Arthur. Again, a shit ton of credits to his name.
Hey, you know what? If there was an IMDb for normal people's jobs, we'd have a lot of credits too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, these are their jobs, right? I mean, it just happens to get written down. They get credit for it.
But you know, all you had to do was. Okay. You could have gotten rid of the whole Maharaji plotline.
Well, you could have said
cameraman
in the beginning, even though the description of the plot says it's in India, you could have told us early on that really it was in Africa. We were 30 minutes into this movie when they finally said, here in the dark continent, here are the...
And they added a shrunken head for some fucking reason, and the eye of the forest for some fucking reason.
None of it made sense.
You know, all you have to do is just say, these tribes believe that in virgin sacrifices to the gorillas leave us alone. Well, of course the gorillas are going to leave you alone. They're fucking the virgin sacrifices.
Oh,
tell me I'm wrong.
That's so speciest of you. You're saying the male gorillas prefer to have those hairless.
They seem to be the women seem to be very happy. They were singing, they were dancing. One was doing the cha-cha.
No, I got all that. But what about the female gorillas?
I didn't. That's the thing is they never said anything about the females.
Okay, but if there are male gorillas, there are gorilla moms, right? And for all the exploitation,
and there were no babies either.
That's true, not yet. But for all the exploitation in this movie, I believe it was the female gorillas that were exploited more than anyone. Because we just assume that these gorillas would much prefer these hairless women from the I think Stacey sent me a chat now, and I have chat turned off.
No, I was actually writing my notes because I had in addition to one of my favorite parts of this movie.
Okay, all right. Well, you
continue your thought.
No, that's it. That's it. I believe it was speciest and misogynist in that the whole plight of the female gorillas. The female gorillas weren't out there capturing the warriors who did the war dances, right?
Right. Well, they weren't flopping around their junk like the girls were.
Well, I mean, you couldn't see their junk. They had loincloths on.
So my favorite
is that the junk you're talking about? The what is it? The below the belly button, the mid thigh region, that particular junk.
Anyway, My favorite part.
Okay.
So as we're doing the opening, it's talking about African sequences and musical sequences, and my heart went, "I'm gonna have a musical."
Yes, and my heart sank.
Yes, so bad.
Musical sequences.
I could hear his heart just breaking.
Are we going to be singing about?
So the good news is the African and musical sequences were just the footage of a dance and stuff like that.
National Geographic kind of film.
So the thing I love most about this, and I wrote in a review, if you are a stickler for punctuation and capitalization, please do not put on the subtitles, because
this is the worst computer generated subtitles I think we've ever.
But it did come up with a great drinking game.
Yeah, I did. We typically put subtitles on when we're watching a movie because we are talking and laughing and all that stuff. And it does make it easier to have the subtitles there as kind of a reference. But yes.
And some of the noises that they make, engine roaring, tires screeching.
Right. Tires screeching on dirt. Right. Or that one, Speedy. Speedy's right. Oh, yeah.
So let's just start off with the first major one that I wrote down on my notes.
Okay.
Maharaji or Maharaja Parsta. Parsta. They called him Pasta.
Yes. Maharaji Parsta was Maharaji Pasta through the...
And the whole time they call this the Curse of the Llama, which is ironic because there are no fucking llamas in this movie. They call someone a Greek beauty, a builder, and my favorite, tick squeak.
Tick squeak.
That is one of my favorites.
I'm gonna add that to my vocabulary. Oh yeah, you dick squeak. But let's talk about.
We not wandered around here.
You're not wandered around here, yeah.
And instead of saying you're not wanted, you're not wandered around here, and they're an expedition, so it's funnier.
Yeah.
But you want to explain our drinking game?
Our drinking game is the many times in fact, it got so bad that we dropped my pencil again. We had to go back and look up what the actual character's name was.
Once the movie was done, I started writing them down about halfway to go. Fielder.
The unnamed mistress.
No, misnamed. She is named.
No. Yeah, okay. But the unnamed mistress was named Velda. Velda. And so we decided about halfway through the drinking game for this movie has to be every time the subtitles misspell or mislabel Velda, right? So what's your list? And then I'll give you my list.
We got
Velda,
Velma, Belda, and Bella.
I got
me, my faux Velma.
Yeah,
Velma.
Right. I got Felder. Felder was my favorite.
Yeah, I got that
one. Shelba, Selba, and Melba.
Yeah, you got the M's and the S's, and I started getting the
right,
and the V's.
So I don't know. We've got we got about 10. This is about a 10-shot movie.
I would say closer to 20 because there was a good half an hour before we even saw
before we realized it. So this is a Friday night.
Yeah,
because you don't want to have to go to work the next day, and
well, you don't have to do shots. You just have to take a drink. So even if you're drinking like a seltzer, why are you drinking seltzer? You can just take a drink of it instead of a shot.
Really?
Yeah, because shots are like
no, Stacye. Our listeners are not seltzer people.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you? I literally said don't.
Okay.
Like ew.
Right. So I would just round it to a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A shot of the alcohol of your choice, but not seltzer.
Of your choice, yeah. No seltzer, yeah. No grapefruit, no cranberry juice. Okay, explain this to me. and this is completely off topic.
When we stay on topic all the time. You jest.
What is the deal with cranberry with women of a certain age? And by that I would mean below, I don't know, from 25 to 50.
Okay.
Who drink cranberry juice and vodka.
They don't like the taste of either one, so they just put the two together and just chug it?
It could be. See, I kind of think maybe there's a UTI preventative thing going on.
Yeah,
there.
But what's really funny is it doesn't actually prevent or help UTIs.
Okay, but
it's a myth.
There's a lot of myths, right? But it's I mean, honest to God.
I have a degree.
You have a certain. I'll edit that out.
No, it's okay. It's actually more accurate nowadays because it's been so damn long that I've gotten my degree. It's more like a certificate anyway.
We'll talk about that later. Okay.
It's been 20 years since I got my degree. It's a certificate. It's a degree in nutrition. Nutrition has changed so much that I can't honestly say that it stands up to my learning.
You know the first rule of holes, right? It's when you realize you're in one, stop digging.
Oh no, I'm the donkey that just keeps stomping it down and then eventually just walks out of the hole.
All right.
Because I'm an ass.
Okay. I'm going to edit all that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The best fact about this movie that I just discovered tonight.
Yes.
That makes my heart full of joy.
Instead of the stinking feeling you got from the musical sequences.
Instead of the mild nausea of the movie coupled with eating half a bug the size of a Buick left me. Jacqueline Fontaine that played Velda, Belda, Melda, Selba, Shelba, Shella,
Velda,
and Felda was married to, you ready? I bet you didn't find this. Lenny Bruce.
He is not afraid.
Lenny Bruce, the father of all current American stand-up comedy, who went to jail. I just read it tonight, like 18 times.
George Carlin literally fucked with people so he could be in the same cop van as Lenny Bruce.
George Carlin said many, many times that he would not have a career if not for Lenny Bruce. All he did was copy Lenny Bruce, right?
Oh, different wording, but same principles, yeah.
Yeah, all right. But Jacqueline Fontaine, the Untamed Mistress, was briefly married to Lenny Bruce. And that's the story. That's the screenplay we need to write. We need to write this screenplay about she's out writing Untamed Mistress, or not writing, acting in Untamed Mistress. And he's being arrested on and standing up for the First Amendment rights of free speech and all that stuff at the time he did. And of course, then, I think he killed himself and she lived until she was like almost 100. But anyway, I love that. I was so happy to find that connection.
Don't they usually?
Are you?
No.
Are you fucking fact checking me now? I
was just trying to see when she died. I was just trying, and it doesn't say when she died.
Me. You are doing it again.
And it does say in IMDb that she was married to Lenny Bruce.
Thank you.
And John Bigliotta? That name sounds familiar. Why does that name sound familiar? Who's John Bigliotta?
He was some other guy who liked girls with giant breasts.
Oh, what? Who doesn't?
She's
like
not okay. If you watch the Dustin Hoffman movie, Life of Brenny Luce, Lenny Bruce. She's not Honey. We know Valerie Perrine played Honey in that movie. She's not that character. She was married to him briefly.
So
but all this.
I mean, she's beautiful though. Movie. Come on. I mean, how could you not?
I don't know. Before we finish, we should also tick off the tagline for Untamed. These are the ones I found that were like associated with cars.
They called it a drama.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, you got to categorize it as something. There's nothing. There is no story called bestiality. I mean, there probably
hinting
is.
At
there
probably
is a
Pornhub
now. Maybe you could find. Yeah, right. But, okay. Untamed, unashamed, savage animal worship, strange emotions, powerful, daring.
I had strange emotions, but I don't think they were thinking about what I was thinking.
Which will be her mate? Man?
Well, since that all the guys die at the end and all the gorillas... Well, there were a couple of gorillas.
Yeah, okay, we know how it ends. But through the whole movie, you and I were both saying, this movie, well, nothing's being shown here. This movie's about people fucking gorillas, right? I mean, it really is, right? Is that what you're getting out of this? And you would say, yeah, I think that's what I'm getting out of it.
And then we watched the tribal dancing, and then we're like, what? And then they said, well, we give them virgin sacrifices, but we've never found any bodies. And that's when we both kind of just went,
yeah. Yeah, right. Who will be her mate, man or beast? I'm pretty sure it was beast.
Oh, no, it was for sure beast because man died.
Right. Meet Velda, the kind of woman, man, or gorilla would kill. She loved and knew no shame. An amazing story of a primitive woman whose only weapon against man or beast was love. And then finally there is Naked Fury, primitive and uncensored. Yeah.
This is a great drinking game, and I think that's the only good thing about it is the subtitles were better than the movie.
But we did. I mean, it was 72 minutes long, and we had a lot of fun watching.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of boobs.
I would say 7 thumbs up just for the comedic value of
the subtitles.
Watching this and saying, "Oh my God, really? Somebody made a movie about human gorilla
encounters."
No. It's stronger than that. It was human gorilla intercourse. It was
terrible.
It was bestiality and rape, right? It was.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
It was horrible. But somebody made a movie about it in 1956 and tried to pawn it off as a
don't forget
scientific documentary into the life of the lowland gorilla.
Patton Oswalt did a 4-minute stand-up routine about deathbed.
Yeah.
About how someone actually got it, wrote it, and got it done.
Yeah.
This is the kind of movie we like.
I think we've done 36 minutes on those sorts.
You're bugged. Anyway.
Untamed. Nah, that was another hour. But all right.
Okay, Cringers. Until the next time. Don't be afraid of that algorithm and click on that movie, see where it takes you, because it might take you into the jungle of Africa.
Whoa. Could you do that again? Whoa.
My 3 and my 2 are going, oh, because there's a no in the middle. Actually, it's a 0, but I kind of heard. Are you frozen? Oh, I think you're now you blanked.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
After this movie, how can you be speechless about the movement of it?
I never expected my pseudo daughter to demonstrate the dances of those African women.
This is a guy whose rubber eraser looks like a penis. Hey, look, it even has a little slit.
Thank you, Stacye.
Good night, people. We love you.
That was quite wonderful. I'm having very confused feelings right now.
I buried the lead.
Oh God. I'm yeah. And
I'm gonna take
you know what?
I'm gonna put him on my face. I'm gonna put him on my face.
Okay. I do see my therapist tomorrow, and I really didn't.
Hi, Doc.
I didn't know what I was going to talk to her about, but I had a whole notebook full now. Where did you get this little gorilla?
My mom had this as a keychain. I don't know the whole story. Aaron would have to tell you, but it has a thumb it can suck, And for some reason, I don't know what this hand. Oh, maybe you can do this.
You can hold a banana with that.
Oh no, I can't. It can hold its own hand.
You can do the Rocky thing. All right, man. Good night. I think this podcast is more outlandish than last week's, which was more outlandish than the week before.
We're giving the people what they want.
I don't think they want it.
They want a monkey mustache. Who doesn't want a monkey mustache?
Oh, God. All right. Tune in again next week when Stacye and Steve go to rehab. Good night, sweetheart. I love you dearly.
It's got feet. All right.
I'm going to stop the recording now before we violate any more FCC guidelines. I can only mark the podcast as explicit. I can't say offensive.
It's not offensive. Somebody made this movie long before we were even born.
I need it, but no, they should be able to say. I need more qualifiers than just explicit. I need to be able to say it's explicit and it's offensive and it's disgusting. And good night, Mr. Gorilla.
Stacye and Steve's Cringe Fest is a Howard's Day Old Clams production. Music by Tony Longworth. I'm your announcer, Howard.